everyone. I guess I just want to start off by saying I wasn't even planning to make this video, but I've been dealing with imposter syndrome heavy lately. And if you've ever felt like you don't belong in the life you're building, then I guess this is for you. Um, Imposter syndrome is that voice in your mind that tells you you're not qualified. You just got lucky, or somebody's going to find you out. Like there's some proverbial, you know, you know, guys out there waiting for you with pitchforks and tomatoes and stones to take you out, you know? And the crazy part is it doesn't matter how much you've accomplished and all the work that you've put, all the sweat, tears that you've put to where you are now, it still shows up. It has been loud. That's the only way I could think of. For me, it's been loud since stepping into private practice, building my business. I also have an aromatherapy business where I'm creating products, literally putting myself out there in new ways that I could never imagine, you know? And there are moments where I'm like, girl, who do you think you are? Like, who do you think you are doing all of this, you know? And if I'm being honest, it can feel suffocating. Like you're one step away from being exposed. Exposed by what? Exposed how? I don't know, but it feels like that, you know? But what I've been learning, in all honesty, is it doesn't show up randomly. It gets triggered by something. And for me, the biggest triggers have been stepping into something new, being visible, growth, believe it or not, growing faster than I was ready for, or I believed that I was ready for, or comfortable with. And my biggest one, comparing. Ooh, that one takes me out every time. And comparing myself to people who look like they have it all together, while I at times see myself as someone who's spiraling and barely is holding it together. Yo, that part of self that is just like, you've been exposed. Ta-da! I don't know. Growth triggers it. Well, at least for me, every single time. Transition, doing something new, going from one space of comfortability to another space that is unknown every time. And what's been helping me, in all honesty, I just got back from sabbatical, so I'm like, you know, is not necessarily curing it, but quieting it in an essence where it's like I'm not trying to like sweep it under a rug or trying to negate that, because I find that when I do that, it makes it louder. That version of self becomes louder and stronger to ignore, you know. But what I find that I do is like I call it out. Like I call what it is. What is it that's like really like bothering me or, or causing me great concern and fear in it in some way, right? So call it out. That's the first thing that I do. Um, Literally saying this is imposter syndrome. This is not true, right? The second thing I do is like I look for evidence. You can't hold strongly to something without having receipts, bro, you know? And my feelings are my feelings, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're facts. Okay? You feel a certain way, but that doesn't mean that what you feel is the actuality of what is going on. All right? I ask myself, what have I accomplished? What have I actually done? And what have I actually built? And what am I actually doing? And I have to make sure that I do that, you know, because you know, when those negations and those negative thoughts start coming, it comes with its own receipts too, you know. So I have to make sure that I'm coming back with facts and not coming back with, well, you know, I have to come back with truth, you know. And third, definitely not least, push through anyway, because I've learned that confidence doesn't come first, especially not for me. I'm insecure. I'm insecure, you know? Um, it doesn't come first for me. My action does though. I do it. I show up, I come through anyway, you know? Um, and usually my confidence shows up too after, you know, but it does show up. You don't wait until you feel ready, you know, because sometimes you won't ever feel ready. And in that waiting till you feel ready is what creates stuck, that feeling of stuckness. Okay? So you don't wait until you feel ready, you move, and readiness actually catches up. So I don't know. I'm hoping that this helped. So, because if you're dealing with this right now, I want you to hear me clearly. You're not by yourself. You're not by yourself. You're not behind. You're not a fraud. And you're not the only one who feels this way. Okay? You're just in a space your past self hoped for and prayed for. And your mind is trying to catch up to its reality, to your reality, to my reality. So be patient with yourself, but don't shrink. Keep going anyway. Growth will introduce you to a version of yourself, I kid you not, that feels unfamiliar, but unfamiliar does not mean unqualified. Okay? So this is your girl Jessie from Simply Her Counseling and Simply Sentimental, keeping hope, movement, and scent one day at a time. Until next, bye.